Welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another malicious compliance Reddit video. In our first story, a customer wanted her ice cream crunchy, so I made it crunchy. Let's jump right in. Briefly, during the pandemic, I worked as a manager at a Ralph's, a New York City area ice cream chain. And one night, as I'm helping out scooping, I hear a customer getting annoyed at the window and starting to get snippy with one of the young kids who was working the window. So I head over to smooth the situation as manager. The woman is mad because the hot fudge on her hot fudge sundae is hot and going to melt the ice cream. I explained to her that hot fudge is indeed served hot, but she insists, so I make her a new sundae with magic shell topping instead and let her keep the hot fudge one. By the time I return with that, this customer is stirring her spoon through another cup of cream ice, kind of like a sherbet she ordered, obviously about to complain about it. The flavor she ordered was called Graham Crunch, and she proceeded to tell me that there wasn't any Graham Crunch in it, that she orders this flavor all the time and she knows that I am intentionally stiffing her. I tell her that this is just how the flavor is and I don't name or make the ice cream, but she isn't having it. She wants me to fix it. We've got some crushed graham cracker topping in the back, so as she is berating me, I just walk away from her and grab the entire container and come back to the window with it. At this point, we've got a line of people down the block because this lady has held us up, so there are lots of witnesses to what I was about to do. Without breaking eye contact with her as she continues to tell me that I'm wrong about the ice cream I scoop 6 days a week, I open the lid of the container and empty the entire thing over her cup of the offending ice cream. Graham crackers are everywhere. Her ice cream is now definitely crunchy. She loses her mind at this and starts yelling at me. She knows the owner and will get me fired. I tell her, yeah, Steve is a nice guy. And she responds with, I've known Steve a long time. To which I respond, well, his name is John. Get out of here and don't bother my employees for free ice cream again. Now, sufficiently embarrassed in front of the long line of customers, the lady leaves in a huff, and indeed, she never returns. The next few customers left us $20 tips in the jar to make up for her, so the kids who worked for me left with quite a bit more in their pockets than they normally would, and realized that their manager had their back. Story number 2. Mr. Very Important doesn't want any air conditioning on him in the middle of summer. I work in building operations for some high-rise office buildings in sunny Southern California. I maintain electrical systems, plumbing, HVAC, basically anything within the building I fix. My background is HVAC, with plenty of certifications and experience in how things work. The building I'm currently at has covers on the thermostats to prevent tenants from messing with them. Side note, our HVAC system is a pneumatic system that uses air pressure to operate everything. You need a specialty gauge to check what the pneumatic signal is calling for, heating, cooling, or nothing. This is why we don't let tenants adjust their own thermostats, because without the gauge, you're only guessing what you're doing. Anyways, Mr. Very Important puts in a call he is way too cold. No problem. I go up and find his thermostat has had the cover pried off and set to 68 degrees and then half put back on. I check my gauge and it's operating properly for being set at 68. I adjusted back up to 72, which is standard temperature, and let Mr. Very Important know someone had messed with the thermostat and that's why he was so cold. Halfway through telling him, he cuts me off and says, I don't care about the thermostat. I want these vents shut down. I don't want to feel any air. I try to explain it will be a lot more comfortable in a few minutes, and shutting the vents is not a good idea in the summer. Well, Mr. Very Important isn't having it. After all, he's very important and knows better than me how comfort cooling works, despite my decade-plus experience. And to top it off, he's an absolute jerk about the whole thing. After being cut off for the 3rd time, I finally had enough and said, okay, no problem. You want the vents completely shut? And he responds, yes, if I feel any air blow on me, we're going to have issues that your boss will have to sort out. So I shut the vents completely at the damper at the air conditioning box. No air will come out. Well, I've dealt with very important people before and I know what to expect. So I put a note on the work order. Mr. Very Important asked for no air to come out of the vents in his office, despite my objections. So vents have been shut per tenant request. If you are aware, the West Coast is going through a gnarly heat wave right now. So naturally, Mr. Very Important puts in a call that his office is too hot. I accept the call, but I go on my way doing my normal duties, which I'm very busy with, as we just had 1 of 4 people on our team leave. So it takes me 3 days to get back to Mr. Very Important's office, and he's losing his mind at how hot it is. And to be fair, his office was like a sauna. I'd be pissed too if I had to work in that office. I ask if he wants his vents opened back up to allow the air to flow into his office and cool it down. The dude looks like I just kicked his dog when he realizes closing the vents was his demand that I tried to talk him out of. I open them up real quick because it's very easy and then I leave. Apparently, he didn't like being called out like that and called my property managers to complain. I'm not sure what they said back to him, but I certainly got a good laugh out of the whole thing. Story number 3. I have to wait in the queue? Okay, if you insist. So I work at a small garden center and we have a system where if the queue is getting too long, the person on tills calls on the radio to open another till. Basically, that means that staff can be doing other things when there aren't enough customers to justify having 2 or 3 or even 4 tills open. I'm sure you can guess where this is going already. Over the last week or so, it's been absolutely baking by UK standards, and to top it off, our till area is what used to be the main greenhouse before the site got expanded. Old greenhouse, little airflow, scorching weather, it was hot as balls in there. This was causing a combination of angry customers and exhausted staff, and to top it off, our uniform is more what you'd call guidelines than an actual uniform. Navy polo, toe-capped boots, and you're good to go. So when I get the call for a second till, there's about 3 or 4 groups in the queue, and I go to walk past the queue with some sweets to keep me sweet and my water bottle to go to the tills. Until a 6-foot rugby player looking type at the back of the queue puts his arm to stop me. What follows went something a little like this. Oi, mate, don't you know what a queue is? But no buts, you don't get to skip. I'm just going, I don't care. You wait like the rest of us. At this point, with this guy getting pretty angry and turning a very deep shade of crimson, I look at the till with an exasperated look, catch my colleague's eye, and just go, fine then, and wait. It was too hot to argue over this, and I wasn't going to risk this getting physical. My colleague, with a knowing smile, picks up her radio and says, "Can I have another till, please? I don't think Carador can make it." No one arrives, probably due to a combination of radio issues, brakes colliding, and not my problem. So we wait. It only takes about 5 minutes to get to the front, but Angry Dude is getting redder by the second. He goes up to be served with a loud, "Finally!" I'm now in the front of the queue, so I go up to my till, log in, and call out, "Can I help anyone on this side?" There was a loud, "Are you flipping with me?" from Angry Dude, but my colleague was quick to loudly point out that I did try and explain several times that he got very aggressive with me for doing so, and he was honestly lucky we were serving him at all. Angry Dude decided to just leave rather than embarrass himself any further. He put down his purchases on the desk and just left. I'm glad I didn't get in trouble for that one, but it was a fun bit of malicious compliance. This is John from /Bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to be the first to know when the next one drops, subscribe and make sure you click on the notifications bell so that YouTube will actually show you my videos. We would love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.